This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in New Jersey. I'm here with a real estate professional that is dedicated to providing an unparalleled understanding of the local market and is a relocation specialist for Florida sun seekers. I'm joined here with Tara. Thanks so much for joining us here today.
Thank you for having me. How are
Let's start
you?
off a little bit. You were formerly educated at Fairfield University. Your skills extend beyond real estate. So let's first share with our viewers out there what led you to the real estate industry, first of all.
I started doing working for an interior designer where we did some staging, decorating actually just for clients, doing work for clients, private clients. We did some work for builders and some spec houses. And then we kind of expanded to doing like showcase homes for Bergen County. And that kind of gave me the bug to get into real estate a bit and learn a little bit more about the properties that we were staging. And I've always really loved properties and kind of driving on a Sunday and looking along at all the different architecture and properties that New Jersey has to offer. And so I took my course really just to educate myself in real estate, not thinking I was really going to do much and be an active agent. I really just wanted to learn. And as I took the course, I really, really enjoyed it and just could not wait to get out there and become actively licensed.
Here we are today. Really a natural progression for you. Went from the inside of the house, outside of the house, and here we are. I mean, as a lifelong resident of your local area, what do you feel attracts home buyers to the great state of New Jersey? I mean, specifically the Bergen County area.
I think that Bergen County has so much to offer. And so, I mean, number one, the proximity to Manhattan, because in my opinion, New York City is the greatest city in the world, definitely in the country. I think for commuters, it's super, super close. I think that the schools in Bergen County are really, really at the top, mostly blue ribbon schools and throughout Bergen County. You've just got so much, there's so much to offer in Bergen County. Not only are you close to Manhattan, you're also close to Philadelphia, you're close to Connecticut. You have the Jersey Shore. So you get a little bit of everything being in this tri-state area. And even weather-wise, we're seeing now with so many of the natural disasters that have been occurring, unfortunately, on the West Coast, New Jersey's kind of shielded, aside from just a couple of weather events that we've had throughout the years, we're kind of shielded from those, sporadic weather events. And we do really have, seasonal climate. And it's nice because we kind of know what to expect. We don't have to worry about earthquakes, hurricanes, or things of that nature. And it's just kind of a safe, great place to live.
You guys are protected right there, yet you have everything at your fingertips right around you. Great place to live. I mean, you've continued to gain knowledge of the real estate market. Why does real estate continue to be a preferred investment in any portfolio, would you say?
Well, I mean, now I think we see more than ever. If you look at the stock market, the last couple of weeks, it's not great. Stocks are volatile. Real estate is also, and it ebbs and flows. However, when you invest in real property, you're really very, very, very rarely going to see that money depreciate. You're going to see some kind of appreciation in value, particularly if you end up holding on to that property and improving upon that property and living in that property. I think that real estate's always a safe investment. I think you have to be a little shrewd. I think you can't go into it kind of wet behind the ears and just think you're going to be a real estate investor when you don't know anything about the particular market you want to invest in. But with the right guidance, I think that real estate is always a safe bet. And insofar as Bergen County real estate and in the tri-state area and in New Jersey, we have never really seen, at least to my knowledge, and I've been doing this for a while and I've lived here my entire life, will never see homes decrease in value in Bergen County. We've only seen an uptick in the value of homes, especially post-pandemic when people from major cities are trying to get out and get into the suburbs of New
Yep,
Jersey.
absolutely. And like you say, when it comes to land, they're not making any more of it, so it's going to be in demand always. I mean, not only as an investment, but for a first-time home buyer. I mean, is it still the American dream? And do you enjoy assisting them on that journey?
I think it's still the American dream. I think that there's pride in home ownership always. I think it's a prideful thing to own a home, whether it be a small home, a cape, or a large home. I think that there's pride that comes with it. It's yours. You own it. I think it's a little tricky right now, helping buyers navigate this market. I think that what we're seeing, at least in New Jersey, is a very low amount of inventory. I think that sellers are a little afraid to let go and sell, even if they're ready to sell, because they bought perhaps at a very low interest rate, and they don't want to have to then purchase their next property, even if it's downsizing, at a higher interest rate. And there's other factors that are contributing to the lack of inventory. But I think that for a first-time home buyer that has to already come down with a down payment for their house, to pay an interest rate that's a little bit higher than we're normally used to, that's a big nut for them to pay every month. And, you're getting oftentimes not a large amount of property for what you're paying, but the pride that comes with home ownership, the long-term investment that comes with home ownership, and the ability to improve upon that home and grow your equity in that home and then have
Yeah,
that for yours to sell down the line. I
yeah,
think that you can't rationalize not
that
doing
interest
that.
rate is a low factor when you consider that when you're renting, you're paying 100%. Okay, you're paying 100% out of your pocket, so people have to look at that. Yep, absolutely. I mean, temperatures in New Jersey, they can hit, 0 degrees. So for those who seek the year-round sunshine of Florida, you are also licensed, and you hope to be the relocation concierge for them. Why was that multi-state service a good fit for you?
So I had been traveling for quite some time to Southwest Florida, particularly Naples, Florida. I have family that had bought some property there, and it kind of had just been a place and a destination that we had been traveling to. And it just seemed like a natural fit. I loved the landscape there, obviously loved the weather, great escape from the cold in New Jersey. And so to get my license there was kind of a no-brainer because I'm able to see both worlds. I can navigate, the process of, a New Jersey buyer, seeing what that looks like and purchasing in Florida. And I've done it. And it's actually really fun for me and exciting to see someone who is kind of living out, a bit of a dream when it comes to buying a vacation house, wherever it may be. Maybe for someone else, it's not Florida, but for some people it is, in a warm climate, to have that other investment for their family, a warm place to go to gather. Sometimes for the holidays, it's fun to spend a holiday there, or after the holidays when it's cool and everything's kind of settled down and you want to just go there to escape a bit. And I have made so many contacts, and I know the process, the moving process, what it's like, the tax implications. So
Yeah.
I really can serve a buyer making that transition really, really
I mean,
well.
absolutely. It's a great place to live. I myself relocated here to Florida 1 month ago. I came and visited probably about 2, 3 years ago during COVID. Decided to make the move over here. I love it. Matter of fact, when you come to Florida, I'm probably going to have to interview over here so we can be with some palm trees behind us and do it in person.
For sure.
I just relocated myself. Relocating here, I mean, it's exciting, but it can be stressful. Why should buyers go with someone who understands the challenges of relocation and maybe can save them some time, some footwork, or maybe even some money?
Because it's exactly what you said. It can be stressful. I mean, moving itself is one of the most stressful life
Yep.
events that someone can go through. And so relocating, that's just a move on steroids because you're managing oftentimes one property that you're already living in while purchasing another property and navigating all of the financials that go along with that, some of the tax implications, or the there's some kind of I'm trying to think of the word, structural things that have to be in place in order to
There's
facilitate
definitely a
that
strategy
move.
to the whole process, and especially when it comes to a realtor, there's a lot of things you guys do in the back end people don't even realize you're doing, which I think is very important. I mean, be it New Jersey or Florida, buyers are in great hands with you and your team at Compass. Why was Compass a good fit for you?
So Compass was a good fit for me because of its reputation and because of its strong presence and technology, presence in the technology and marketing realm. It really started off as kind of a tech-based real estate brokerage. And with that, it enables me and my team to be able to kind of facilitate our transactions better in real time. We're able to give our buyers and sellers real-time access to all of their information in one platform. And it's just so much more of full disclosure. And it kind of takes away that, I don't want to say sleaze factor that sometimes an agent will have, but it really makes our clients feel like we're working in synergy together. They're with us through this transaction. There are no secrets. They can see everything. They have access to their dashboard, and Compass allows for that because of the infrastructure that they've built with their technology platform, which
Absolutely.
I love.
I mean, I agree. The technology is there. You need to go with an agency that has that. I mean, we see people shopping online using Zillow, other apps. How does partnering with an agency like Compass provide even more accurate information than those online apps?
Do not say the Z word. The Z word is
I
like
know it.
so so Compass, what Compass has done, which has been just so groundbreaking, is that Compass has given back autonomy to the seller and to the property owner. A lot of these other third party websites and brokerages like Zillow or like a Redfin, although, I'm not saying I've never looked up a property before I was an agent and it comes up on Zillow. It's there, we go to it. But oftentimes this is misinformation because of the way that they get their data. And it can be misleading for clients. It will oftentimes not list the proper listing information in the listing agent so that other agents are getting contacted rather than the listing agent. It will give a rough estimate, or as they call it, a zestimate of a property that could sometimes give a buyer or a seller false hope. You need a professional to come and give you a real comparative market analysis of your property. And that's really at any agency. I would say that Compass is the best, and my team is very, very astute in the market and where we would price things at. But I just think that there's a lot of horse and pony shows in town, and it's all about picking the right fit for you. But all I can say is that with Compass, we're held to you have to be invited to be a Compass agent. We're held to a different kind of standard than most other agents in other brokerages.
I'm not afraid to use the Z word when it comes to a company like Compass, because they can really show how their information is updated. They can show you how they go up and above, not only with the technology, but with the manpower behind it. That is a great combination. I mean, it's not safe to go it alone as a buyer, and it's definitely not as a seller. I mean, for those folks out there who want to sell, some are tempted to hang a for sale by owner sign, and they're hoping to save a little bit of money. Why is this usually not a wise decision? And is marketing, is it critical to get most eyes on the property?
I would say that's a great question. I would say that most for sale by owners, FSBOs as we call them, 9 out of 10 times, they don't work. And that seller ends up going with an agent. And that's because they simply don't, to your point, get the market exposure that agent is, that seller is looking for. Or the seller just doesn't have the right tools or knowledge to be able to navigate a buyer coming in or some of these offers that are coming in, they don't really know what to do with it. And at the end of the day, you do need a professional that does this day in, day out, that knows how to guide you in the right direction, that knows how to put a contract in place to protect you the best, that's doing things in your best interest. And sure, are you going to have to, are there commissions involved? Absolutely. Commissions are negotiable, but you do get what you pay for. It's like any other service. You can go it the easy, cheap way, but you're going to get an easy, cheap product. And it's all relative. I'm not saying it doesn't work. If you have some kind of agency background, sure, go for it. Sell your own house. But I can 9 out of 10 times, even if the deal comes to you, we always see it falls through somewhere or another. There's like a little kink or a glitch and they come groveling back. Oh, can you sell our house for us? It just always happens.
I've seen that myself. I love educating my viewers out there, making sure the consumers know I hate them to save $1 and end up losing thousands of dollars. I've seen that before. I mean, not only does the marketing matter, but prepping the house for the highest dollar. I mean, you worked as a design assistant in the past, so does this talent merge well in the art of home staging?
100%. And one may say I'm a little bit, I shouldn't use the word psychotic, but I am very, very, very particular about the way that my listing looks prior to going to market. My sellers want to strangle me because I go in there like a hurricane and I'm like, move this, move this. We have to, edit. But it is very, very important for a property to look a certain way. And it's purposeful. It's so that it is appealing to a buyer that comes in. It needs to be depersonalized. It needs to be clean. Certain little things that I've learned along the way, for sure from my design background, but also just from doing this for so long. And it's a matter of, getting a sale or not. If a house isn't presented the right way, a buyer is going to come in and just walk out. So it's super, super important in the marketing process in having your house staged the right way.
I walked in, Minnie, and walked right out. And really, when I seen it online, it looked like a very nice home, but I couldn't see myself living there. The way it was laid out and the way it was put together, I totally agree. With a Bachelor of Arts degree in communications, how important is communication with your client throughout your process? I mean, do you enjoy getting to know them and realize that it's not a one-size-fits-all?
Yeah, I mean, I think communicating in every relationship and communication is probably the most important part of any relationship, but certainly in a client relationship for sure. And I really enjoy watching the whole process come to fruition. I'm in constant communication with my clients. They always know that they can reach me. There's no off day for me. It's every day. I will take your call. My family sometimes gets annoyed with me because I'm always, but that's the business. And, I'm providing a service, and it is in a lot of ways a concierge service, and it's 24/7. So I need to be able to be in communication with my client and make them feel that they're the most important client at all times, even if I have other ones. And I really do think that comes through, and that's how they feel when they hire me.
You're helping them navigate this process they've never done before, probably, in one of the largest transactions they've ever had to do. I mean, you've continued to expand your services and increase your knowledge of this industry. How has becoming a title representative serve your clients even more so?
So title was something that I kind of fell into a little bit, and I've always been really interested in title. I think it's super, super cool and interesting. It's like a little tiny portion of what we learn about in our real estate courses. And in doing this now, I market, and I'm a salesperson for the title agency that I work for. And it's actually kind of evolved to, I'm very involved now in this role, and I love learning more about this business. It's elevated my real estate business because I'm able to see the closing process in a different way that I never did. I was very laissez-faire as an agent when it came to title. I thought, oh, let the attorneys deal with that. I've done my job, and I don't title. Real estate agents don't have anything to do with title. But now I see that title is
Yeah.
very, very important to this transaction. And a real estate agent should 100% be involved in the title process and help guide their client. And the client has, the choice to choose the title company that they would like to go with. They're paying for it, so they should choose it. So doing title for me has been one of the best things that I have done
Yep.
for my career, because it's empowered my knowledge, it's elevated my business. I've made so many connections, and just like learning is
Definitely.
just
Definitely, more
everything.
you can bring to the table for your
Everything.
client, the better off they are. We're talking about the staging, the design, knowing about the title, the back end, all very important. Tara, you excel in presenting homes in the most appealing way, optimizing value and minimizing stress for your clients in your local area or relocating to the Sunshine State. Has this so far been rewarding work for you?
So rewarding, sometimes a little stressful. There's always those like 11th hour, situations, but very, very rewarding. I get to wake up and do something that I love to do and help people purchase and sell the biggest asset that they will likely ever own or sell in their life, which is real estate. And I take a lot of pride in it. I love meeting the families and the people. Oftentimes they're people I know already. And just watching the whole process come into light is very, very rewarding. I'm always wanting more. I'm
Yep.
always wanting to learn more. And I really, really enjoy it. It's very fulfilling.
That is why
for
we
me.
wanted to share your story out there, let the folks of New Jersey as well as Florida know you exist and you're out there to serve them. Viewers, let's take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is her website. On the website, you can see her listings and past successful transactions she's made. I mean, if you're ready to master home ownership with confidence or relocate with a first or maybe even a second home, once again, that is Tara Vitta-Vimbor. She is here to serve you. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.